introduction of fentanyl into the whole sphere of drugs on the street has caused an immense amount of deaths. And so that's basically why I have this focus on this season, is because also the suicide factor. So let's talk about that. Did you ideate suicide when you came back?
I did not think I did. The doctors tell me differently. That diagnosis that I talked about before, the second thing after severe PTSD, was suicidal tendencies. I remember looking at the doctors going, "What are you talking about? I've never attempted suicide in my life. I don't want to commit suicide. I want to live." They're like, "Bruce, your lifestyle changed. The way you're living your life today, being shot at, running in and doing this, running in and doing that, totaling cars, out there in the drug world, doing the things I was doing, is indicative of a person that no longer cared whether they lived or died." And I had to step back and think about that. I don't want to die. What are you talking about? But did I sure as heck walk straight in when I got shot at right down here at Myrtle Beach about 4 years ago? The guy was coming down each floor with the gun, pointing it over the balcony at me and talking crap, and I continually just ignored him. Ironically, that's a call from the jail, because I have a bunch of friends in jail. But he come down, dropped over balcony with a waving a gun, talking. He dropped down another level, waving a gun, talking. I said, "He's not going to shoot me." Most people would have already hauled butt. Most people would have done something to get away. I wasn't armed. I was in my standard uniform, which is my Jesus shoes, shorts, and a t-shirt. What am I going to do? He drops down to the ground floor. He shoots at me. I remember pausing and looking at him like he was nuts. I said, "I can't believe that idiot just shot at me." Then it dawned on me I should probably get away. And I turned around. But there was a pause. There was a pause. And an evaluation of the situation. Go, well, one thing, he can't shoot worth a shit, because he's waving the gun all over the place and doing the Street Fighter thing where they turn the gun sideways and all this other stuff. The chances of him hitting you are pretty slim, thank goodness. But as I ran away from him, I'm yelling at him, talking crap to him about his inability to shoot, and drop the gun, let's find out what kind of man you are, while running away. I wasn't going to stand while he still had the gun, but that's not normal. That's way past not normal.
Well, for here and not being in a wartime, it's not normal. I almost feel like you replaced your wartime with
battlefield?
that.
Absolutely. I 100% replaced my battlefield with the drug trade. Now, it started out with a girl and a relationship when I got divorced, and she was in heavy drug use, and to support her fentanyl habit, which was extremely costly at the time, she was chewing patches for $1 a microgram. It cost me about $4,000 a month. So I started selling methamphetamine to support that habit. Yeah, she was chewing 150 micrograms a day. That's $1 a microgram, $150 a day. That's $4,500 a month just to support that habit. At that time, methamphetamine was far more expensive than it is now, so there was a lot more profit margin. So I was able to get my income to where
break even.
Yeah, break even. And that's what I did. I had enough income away from that to support life, normal life. I didn't have the income to support that kind of habit. And with that, I started using methamphetamine also, because I loved it. And I loved the lifestyle. I still miss the lifestyle. I miss the excitement of it. I miss that the cops might be around a corner. I miss that this person might be trying to rob me. I miss.
Still to this day?
Absolutely miss it. I'm bored. I say shitless. I try to avoid certain words, but I'm bored shitless. I'm bored. Life is boring to me. Boring. I'm not jumping out of an airplane. I'm not running around on a mountain being shot at. There's no bombs going off. I'm not calling in fire from jets and things all around. There's not a million things going on around me. I am bored out of my mind. And that was exciting.
I have a fellow veteran that I know very well. And his anxiety level is extremely high as well. And I think that probably that would be one of your biggest nemesis is your anxiety.
What gets my anxiety up? Walmart got my anxiety up on Wednesday. I had a flat tire on my truck. I had to get it fixed. I had group at 5. It's 1:30. They patch tires there. I go there and get a patch. They said it's going to be an hour and a half. That's 3. I don't have to be at group till 5. No big deal. Well, at 4, and my truck was still in the parking lot, having not been touched with a flat tire, my anxiety is getting up. I got to get to the program from Myrtle Beach in traffic in a certain amount of time. I got so wound up, I was a loose cannon. I was pacing around, cussing to myself. I'm walking out of the building, in the building, around. I know that anybody who was looking in my direction got me, what in the world is he on? And what in the world is wrong with him? Is this safe? Because I was ready to kill. I was just so a mess. I mean, I was a flat out mess. I'm sitting there counseling myself while doing this. The anger was off the charts. If anybody had come across me the wrong way at that time, God help them. God help what would have happened to them. Because when I get in that mode, there's nothing can be done. There's no calmness. Nobody could come to me.
And I'm going to say to you the words that you said to me in a meeting about that. And that's that if you get caught with any violent offense at this point, you're going to prison.
Absolutely. If it could be, I could have shoved somebody. I could be at Walmart and just shove them back. And I'm going to prison for 10 years. When they look at me, they see a person that needs to be put in a cage somewhere. There's a lot of people that say, okay, let him function in society. There's a lot of people that say, lock him up and throw away the key. Because if we don't, he's going to hurt somebody. Is there a good chance I'm going to hurt somebody? Absolutely, yes. I'd be lying to say that's not true. When my rage kicks in, when my number one symptom kicks in, which is my anger issues, it turns to rage, I am not in control. There's a reason why I'm 100% disabled, and it's not because it can be handled and controlled. It's not because you can take a time out. It's not because you can take a breath and do the box breathing technique. It's because nothing works except running away, and that's what I do until I get by myself and are able to calm down enough to come back to humanity. If in that time frame someone confronts me and tries to calm me down or physically take me down, where it's going to be very, very ugly for them. I am not in control. My last 2 physical relationships, and this hits a lot home with a lot of the people that are out there suffering from this, ended because the woman in my life was scared of me. She got scared. She saw the rage once. Both of them saw it once. I did not physically touch either one of them, but it scared them enough to end our relationship. Even though I warned them ahead of time, everything about it, they thought they can handle it. I've been yelled at before. I've been around this before. It won't be that hard for me. Not that I want it to occur, but I'm sure I can handle it. I said, I don't think you understand what you're getting into. It's worse than you think. No, I know I can help. I think I can help you. Okay. The last one happened about a year ago over there at the car wash when I got into it with the person was staying with me. And it doesn't matter what it was about. That's meaningless. But my rage started to kick off. And at one point, I grabbed a big, gigantic chair that was in that room, solid as a rock, and I threw it the whole width of the room off the door, shattered it into a million pieces while I'm screaming at her at the top of my lungs, and I left. I exited the room, and I went for a walk. And thank God I did. I didn't touch her, she was over here. But the fear of God got in her, and she saw it for the first time, the true rage. And when I returned and calmly spoke to her about everything, because I come back calm as a cucumber. Matter of fact, I'm at a low. I go from a high to a low. See, at one point she asked me, she said, can you promise me you won't touch me? Can you promise me you won't hit me? I said, absolutely, I cannot. I'd be lying if I told you that. Do I want to? No. Do I intend to? No. May I? Very possibly. Very possibly. Because at that point, I'm not in control. I am not making the decisions rationally or a normal person would make. The rage has taken over. They explain it to us, me, the combat vets, that I'm back in battlefield mode. And it's kill, 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 so we can all survive.
Yes.
That Bronze Star with Valor is for heroism in combat. There's 2 of them. Twice they decided that I showed heroism in combat. The minimum criteria for a Bronze Star is the same as a Silver Star or a Congressional Medal of Honor. The criteria is the same. There has to be people dying on both sides. And you have to have done something beyond the normal call of duty that led to our side having less death than their side, whatever that is. Then a group of 5 people sing around, and they decide, okay, Bronze Star with Valor, Silver Star, Congressional Medal of Honor. So I do very well in those situations. I am a machine. I have no fear. None. Bullets are flying, and I don't for a second get rattled like other people. I don't run into them. I make the right decisions, take cover, turn fire, direct fire, Well, in the regular life, when confronted with a situation like that, I go into battlefield mode. And there's no telling what's going to happen. I tell people, I fear that one day I'm going to wake up and the whole village is going to be burnt to the ground. And I'm going to be sitting there with tears in my eyes saying, I'm sorry. And be sincere about it. 100% sincere. Do I want to do that?
I watched a documentary this past week on that very thing. There's a gentleman, you might have heard of it, where he was out of the Marines. He was in Fallujah. And he came back and his neighbor dropped something upstairs. They were in an apartment complex. And his neighbor dropped something loudly on the floor in the upstairs apartment, and he went up and murdered him. And here this amazingly brave, decorated soldier who had always done well was charged with murder. So I guess that's what you're saying, that is a reality for you to consider with what happens.
Absolutely. I know it is. The reason I isolate, the reason I stay alone most of the time, the reason I don't go to events where there's a groups of people gathering around, the reason I avoid hyper situations is to avoid putting myself in a situation where I may go into a rage and the wrong person at the wrong time decide they're going to take me on in that rage, and I very well might kill them. Either it's going to be kill or be killed. That person might kill me. I'm not the baddest person on the earth. I could lose, but I'm going to try to kill him because I see a threat. And it may be a threat. I mean, that person's coming at me to fight me, let's say. But he's not thinking kill. I'm thinking kill. The line got blurred for me in 2002-ish. I was a bouncer at a Green Goose in Germany, which is a rock and roll franchise bar in Europe. And I did it off duty. And there's a lot of fights. And I was doing it very well. And my group was my men were handling it pretty well. It handles the bouncing. But a lot of times I would go outside and fight. The people would want to fight. Okay, you want to fight? Let's go outside and fight. And I would fight. And I would win those fights. That's great. That's wonderful. But one in particular, this guy came from a local bar, the Beer Brunnen, and he was their bad bouncer there. And people want to know who would win the fight, me or him. I couldn't care less. I want no part of that. I don't care. I'll do his thing. He showed up at my bar. He wanted to fight. He grabbed two young kids' heads and slapped them together like coconuts. Echoed across the bar. He drank their drinks and talked crap, and I sent my guys over to get him out of the bar. He wanted to fight. He's calling me out, so I went over. I said, okay, we'll fight outside. He goes, you ain't going to go outside, and I just walked right out the door. He came out to fight. He's a good-sized man, and I didn't know. I heard all the stories about him, and I went into fight. I said, okay, this one's going to be real. This ain't going to be some pushed-over fight. And I was ramped up. And I get a kick out of it to this day. I remember I call it Kung Fu Fighter. He made his little Kung Fu stance and a little sound for martial arts. And I said, he's done. He don't stand a chance. If you notice out there in the MMA world, you don't see a whole lot of people doing karate anymore. Because the grapplers, the fighters that can get on the ground and do things that fight differently than martial arts, destroy them. But he did his little thing, and he did a swinging kick, and I stepped into it, and took it in the ribcage, was solid as a rock, took him down, and I drove my fist into his face so hard on that ground, I felt the bone shattering underneath my hand. If that wasn't bad enough, I stepped back, looked at him, seen his eyes were rolled back in his head, knew the fight was over, knew he was unconscious. At that point, I always stopped the fight in the past. This time I didn't. I kicked him in the head. I kicked him in the head, and his head moved like a basketball. Just swiveled back and forth. And I said, oh my God, I just killed him. I looked at my two guys that were there, and I said, we got to go. I jumped in a cab, and I ran back to the base. I got to the base and waited for the Polizei to come, German police. They never came. I waited for the military police to come. They never came. A couple of days later, I heard that the guy had gone to the hospital there in Würzburg, but he lived. And then I heard a few days after that when he came to, he said that he was jumped in the alley by Turks.